Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who tuned in yesterday, I am so sorry, but as you may be able to hear, I am sick as a dog and have been sick the entire time I've been off from work, which I don't like. I've been off from work since last Friday we had a half day. So I got sick Christmas Day, went over to my nephew's house, hung out with the kids and everybody else, and immediately like not even noontime, like early morning, started to feel like off. Went to bed, slept all day the next day on Monday. Started to feel a little bit better on Tuesday, had a doctor's appointment. We'll talk about that in a minute. Wednesday felt a lot better. Wednesday night woke up with so much pain in this ear that I knew I had an ear infection, and I now have no hearing. I'm on erythromycin. Hopefully it's going to kick in and get rid of this ear infection, but I can't hear anything out of this ear. It's really awful. It's hard to hear yourself. You sound really weird, right? You sound like you're talking in the bottom of the swimming pool. So I think I was asleep yesterday when I was supposed to be making a video because I just have not been feeling great. But hopefully we'll get through this one. I have my cup of tea. I have tissues. I have cough drops. I have pizzelles, because when you live in an Italian community, your neighbor leaves pizzelles on your doorstep around Christmas. So, it's one of the best parts about living in the community. And he did chocolate this year, which is nice. Like the chocolate pizzelles are kind of a very non-traditional, but they're good, right? My dog is over here begging. He knows he can't have them because they're chocolate, but he's going to beg anyway. So let's start where I've been, or let's start where I left off 5 months ago. So my poor nephew is still going through it with the crazy ex. Back and forth with the courts. Good news is she lost custody. But it was a temporary thing. She was supposed to go to rehab. She still hasn't gone to rehab. She actually went to a rehab and then left. So whatever. But, it's hard. I feel sorry for her, but it's also really hard for me to feel sorry for her because this is a hell of her own making. And she's so concerned about her own feelings and what she can get out of things and how she's being treated and everything. She loses sight of the fact that her children are suffering. She didn't see her kids at Christmas, either of them. She's also lost custody of her sons with her previous partner. So she saw none of her kids. Everybody's cut her out. My sister did get an email from her that was very rambling and weird right around Christmas. And the whole thing was just strange. So, whatever. But that's where we are with that. So that's still going on. Tuesday, I had a doctor's appointment. I'm free and clear from the cancer I had in the spring. So that's good. Let's not for Micah, because this is for Micah, right? I'm still free and clear from the other cancer, the one I had 7 years ago. But they did find a lymph node in this armpit that's what they like to call hot. It's active, right? So I'm going to have that removed. We're in January, the 19th, I'm having it removed. And hopefully once it's biopsied, it'll be fine. Maybe it was the only thing that needed to be removed. Maybe we'll just follow up. I don't know. My actual breast tissue, fine and dandy. No problems, no cancer, no nothing. So we're going to just keep going from there. The last couple of months, I would say that I've kind of slowed down on the goodwill thing. I say that, but it's the problem is I've been going to Goodwill and there hasn't been anything I wanted, right? So it had been really a dry spell with the patterns. And then a couple of weeks ago, I walk in and I see the woman who works there who knows me. And she goes, I'm so glad you came in. And I'm like, uh-oh, that's good news. And she brings me over to where she's hidden like 5 bags of patterns. So I actually, it was too long ago for me to hold on to them, but I did pull a couple out that were right on top so I can give you an idea of what they were like. So this was one, there was a lot of stuff like this, like 80s, 90s, women's patterns from Simplicity McCall's, whoever. This was the most interesting one. The style patterns, which I've only ever gotten 3 of these. I got another style pattern. And again, 90s kind of stuff. Lots of kids patterns. So I'll show you some of the kids patterns, like vintage stuff like this, which is great. This will sell. It's very cottagecore, but it'll sell. Somebody will buy it for their little girl. And then just stuff like this, right? Like, wow. There's going to be a lot of that in this video. I apologize. It's a weird thing to hear. And then this is my favorite. I'm actually still working on this one because I need to count the pieces, but it's a Barbie girl pattern with, unused Barbie girl transfers. So if you were ever, if you're ever a Barbie girl living in a Barbie world, I have your pattern. There it is. Yeah. So I'm going to finish up with these soon, and these will be up online. But the other ones are already online. Can't get that back in there. And other than that, there just haven't been a lot of patterns. So that one little haul, that was like my good haul. I did get, I'm going to show you. I bought several bags of these actually the Friday that we got done. Or was it the Friday? No, it was the Tuesday that we got done school. I went and bought bags. They had like 3 bags and they were stuffed of this kind of stuff. These like embroidery. This is like a magazine. Whereas this one is an individual booklet. It's just for that one particular counted cross stitch. And they had like, I think it was 3 bags and they were stuffed and I got them on a really good price. So it ended up making like each of these like 45 cents. And it was mostly this stuff, but it was also like, remember the Red Heart used to have the little books for making Afghans? It's from the 70s. It is so cool looking because I think it's from 1980. But I'm looking at it, I'm like, I think my mom made one of these Afghans. Like, I kind of remember it, right? That great 70s look. And within that, there was, of course, tracing paper. I've now decided between zippers and tracing paper. These are the 2 things that I get in every haul, regardless of what I'm actually buying. I get zippers and tracing paper. Oh, according to the counter, I have 2 people watching, which is amazing because I thought the one person was me, but maybe it's not. Maybe there's actually 2 people. So if there are 2 people, hi, thanks for stopping by. I don't know how you found this because I was supposed to do this yesterday and I totally flaked because I'm sick as a dog. Anyway, so yeah, so that's the kind of stuff I've been finding at Goodwill. Now, this week, because I had the doctor's appointment, my friend Erin and I went to the Salvation Army, which is near my doctor's office, and I found this, which I have to just tell you, ladies, and gentlemen, this is such a rare find. This is a tablecloth. Now, it hasn't been taken apart. The stitches haven't been taken out. It's nothing like that. It hasn't been cut up. There was a time when ladies could go buy, and this is bark cloth, by the way. It's that nice heavy weave, and it's the weave is very like a crosshatch kind of weave. It's real thick, Hello, Norma Ramirez. Welcome. And a woman could go to a fabric store and they could buy a tablecloth and they would just do the edges. And like, this is bark cloth. This was incredibly popular, right? And it's the repeating pattern on either side. And this is a small one, which is fine. I loved the colors. I thought it was really beautiful and vibrant, which one of the things about bark cloth is the amazing, the dyes that were used and the patterns that were used. The colors in bark cloth were always so bright, which I think is part of the reason that they they are still popular. People still buy the vintage bar cloth because it looks so pretty. And then while we were there, I saw a couple of other things, and they were, I think it was these two. Yeah. It was these two were together. And then I was at Goodwill one day and I found these two. I've started to collect these again, and I'll tell you why. See that how it's made, right? This is going to die. I will die before this thing does, right? You all know these. You've all seen them right there in Grandma's kitchen, and you were like, let's get rid of them and we'll buy new stuff. And the new stuff has now been dead for 20 years. But the ones from your grandma's kitchen are still out there. Yeah, that's why I got them. Because honestly, I have pretty good quality Cuisinart stuff like that. And still, one of them, the handle's plastic, and it's now got like a crack in it. And then I put tape on it so that it wouldn't hurt my hand when I was like, you know. And then there's Grandma's wooden handle stuff, which will outlive me. So I had to pick them up. And I got to tell you, I think the one set at Goodwill was $1.99. And I think the one that I got from the Salvation Army was only 99 cents. I mean, come on. You can't beat those prices. And one day while I was out traveling around, I was at Goodwill, and I wasn't going to buy this, but it was just, it's so beautiful. And I have the bowl, and I don't need any more pottery. For a while there, during my hiatus, I was renting a space in a small antique smart. And I did pretty good. I sold a lot of stuff, including my black and white 1950s dishes, which actually I sold to a woman who worked there because she kept looking at the dishes when we would work together, and she'd go, I love those dishes. And I was like, Lisa, I'm gonna be moving out, at the end of November. I will make you a deal on those dishes if you love them. And she bought them. I made her a deal and she bought them, and she loves them now. I hate the idea. It's great to rescue all this beautiful stuff from the landfill, but then if it just sits, then you know what I mean? Like, I want other people that love it as much as I do to have these things. I just don't want something like this, right, ending up broken in a landfill somewhere. That would break my heart, because this pattern was released right after World War II and stayed popular in its many forms. Like, this is a 1940s piece, and I can tell that by the angle of this. The 1950s one, it would have been a sharp and then straight down. The handle would have been different. But it's even made like it fits in your hand. Nobody makes stuff like this anymore. Somebody's mom saved coupons from the, what was the name of the company? The Jewel Tea Company. You could get coupons, and you could save the coupons when you bought products from Jewel Tea, and you could get this stuff for free. Someone's mom put a lot of effort into getting this piece, and it ended up on a shelf at Goodwill, which is super sad. So I had to rescue it. You know how I get, right? So let's talk about some other stuff. So I go into Goodwill one day, right? They didn't have anything. I was ready to walk out. I look in the case up front. I'm like, oh, I know what that is. That's right. It's a Japanese-made early 50s vintage sewing machine for a little girl. The whole thing comes out. It's got batteries underneath here. I didn't test to see if the batteries still work, by the way. Here's your little foot pedal. These were made, I would say, early 50s. Well, it does work, because look. How cute is that, right? These were made for little girls, obviously. They're pink. They're so cute. But the whole thing, with the exception of like the case and like this piece here, this is all enamel. These were made hardcore. I mean, you weren't breaking these when you were a kid, which is why this thing's still alive and never got broken back in the day. Get that back on. So I got this, and I'm going to put it up on my Etsy shop. I just haven't gotten to it yet, but it's such a cool piece. And I found a couple on Etsy. There are people selling them. I think they're like $30. I paid $9.99 for this, and I got it on a Tuesday, which means I got my senior citizens discount. So yeah, right. I paid even less because I'm cheap. Cheap like that. Sorry, my cough drops are falling out. So, in the midst of all this being sick, I had come to the realization at one point that I had no soup in the house, which is right, which not a weird thing in general. Here's the problem. I used to can. I used to can all the time, like small pints of soup, like a single serving of soup. I would do a whole day. I'd make bean soup. The next week, I'd do chicken stock, chicken and rice soup. And I would always have this stuff around so that when I got sick, all I had to do was pop open the can, and heat it up, right? Pop open the jar. And my sister actually went to the store and bought me chicken rice soup. And I was like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. So, one of the things I'm working towards this year, I don't want to call it a resolution because it's not really a resolution because I'm just going back to something I used to do, is to do a lot more canning, a lot more pickling, and to try some fermentation. I even did a sourdough while we were off. I have a bunch of books ordered because I got an Amazon gift card from someone on fermentation and things. And then I was in Goodwill one day and I picked this up. This can be hard to see because it's got the library plastic on it. It's actually from my local library and it's a discontinued book. They have in here that this book has been removed from the inventory of the Atlantic County Library. So it was about pickling, and I'm super happy to find it because I got it for $2.99. And it's not that old. It's from 2010, and it originally retailed for like $19. So I'm like, right on. I'm happy with that. It is hard for me to talk because my throat is also really sore. I had like the nose thing going on, the coughing thing. You heard a little bit of the coughing. The ears, the most irritating. Not only does it hurt, this not being able to hear yourself it's freaky. It's totally freaky. But I can hear internal noises. So like I can hear myself chew, but I can't hear what my voice sounds like in stereo. So I sound crazy. I don't like it at all. Anyway, so speaking of things like gift cards, I have to show you one gift I got from the kids this year. Every year, the parents give me gifts, ranging from just a gift card in an envelope. One of the kids' dads gave me $20 in an envelope, and I was like, dude, awesome. And I told him I was going to go spend it at Goodwill. He and I had talked previously about how much we loved going to Goodwill. So I told him I was going to go spend it at Goodwill. I get ornaments. I get candles. I got a huge candle this year. Candy, all kinds of stuff. But this year, one of the moms, I guess she made this for me. And I was so tickled by this. How cute is that? And it's a pretty nice, oven mitt. It's the kind you can put your hand in. It's got the silicone on this side. I'll show it to you again. I was so happy with this, right? So I just thought I would show that to you because I think it's such a sweet little thing. And then we're going to come to our very last find of the season. So when was it? It was like one of the coldest days that we had before our break in New Jersey. As I can see, like, sometimes I have people that live in New Jersey who watch these videos. We had, I think it was Christmas Eve, it was like 9 degrees. I actually built like the styrofoam cat boxes for the cats I feed because I was afraid they were going to die on the porch. We had this insanely cold day. It might have been like the Thursday before we went on break. I'm driving down the road, same route I go every day, and I look next to this dumpster and I see a sewing machine cabinet. And me being the insane person that I am, I thought to myself, that's a 60s Singer sewing machine cabinet. So I go over and I think I'm just going to find a cabinet, right? But I didn't. The cabinet, by the way, is in the back. It's in the back. Actually, the cat boxes are like under it so that they have a little more, shelter on the porch, even though the porch is covered too. And I'm going to swing you guys around. Sorry. Hope this doesn't make you too sick. And there she was. Isn't she a beauty? So let me tilt this forward. There we go. You can get a better angle of her. So She got issues. She's got issues, but she's gorgeous, right? I especially love the turquoise. I haven't really done much research on this model. Got her home, plugged her in, cleaned her off. She was very dirty. Obviously, took her out of the cabinet. I had to remove her from the cabinet. Um, Plugged her in, and the light immediately came on, which just cracks me up because, I mean, think about it. Of all the things on this machine that could have gotten broken, trashed, burnout, just died years ago, it would be the light bulb, and that was the first thing that came on. So I had the pedal, and I tried out the pedal, and it's making this noise, like the engine for the machine is revving, but it won't actually turn the needle. So I am going to have to try and get her fixed. Now, the idea of getting her fixed, I'm going to turn you guys back around. I'm going to turn you guys back around for this next absolutely crazy statement I'm about to make. I'm finding less and less places where you can get a sewing machine fixed, which made my little crazy brain think, I wonder if there's videos on YouTube on how to fix sewing machines. Like, could I fix this sewing machine? So I might investigate that. I might be investigating that. So you'll have to stay tuned because as soon as I thought it, like another voice in my head was like, are you nuts? Like you're going to add that to the rest of all the other crap you want to do. You want to start canning again, fermenting, making your own sourdough bread. And on top of that, you're going to learn how to fix sewing machines. Right. And you're going to work a full-time job and you're going to have the Etsy business on the side, which by the way, I don't mean to brag, but that Etsy business, I just got the statement from them. I made over $10,000 last year selling old sewing patterns. Who knew? But oh my God, last year, between being out of work and everything, it saved my bacon. Hi, Maria. Maria always tunes in. How are you? I'm so excited. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yesterday I flaked out. I was explaining later. I am really, really sick. I'm really fighting this. And yeah, I'm not doing too well with this. I'm losing this battle, unfortunately, but that's okay. I'm drinking my tea. I'm sleeping and everything else. So yeah, like there's like two voices in my head. There's like crazy me and like normal me. Crazy me is like, I can watch a video and I can take the machine apart and I can fix the sewing machine. And normal me is like, are you kidding? Like, when are you going to fit that in? Like, just throw that on the pile of stuff you're already doing. Why not? And anyway, so that's kind of what I'm thinking about. I still think I might do it. The crazy part of me is definitely, thinking, why not? Spend an afternoon, look at a YouTube video, take the thing apart, see if you can troubleshoot what's wrong with it. You got it for free off the side of the road. What's the difference, right? Okay, so Marie, you have to give me a link. She's telling me she just fixed the timing on her daughter's sewing machine. If you have links, please put them down below because what's really wrong with this is I can hear the motor running, but the needle does not go up and down. But you can hear the motor and it's really straining. It's trying to like do its job. So I'm going to have to take it apart. Another good thing about this, solid enamel, no plastic on this thing, which honestly, I mean, like this is plastic. It's the cover for the bobbin. That's it. So I'm like, if I could get this working, this is a good machine, Yeah, I'm sure it's gummed up. This was really dirty. When I first got the machine here, I'll show you the machine again in case Marie missed it. All right. So this is for you, Marie. When I first found this machine on the side of the road, it was quite literally covered in not just dust, but if any of you grew up in a house that's old enough to have had a basement that was either partially or entirely like dirt, it almost seemed like it had been on a shelf in like a dirt basement for many years before it was chucked. And that's the thing. It wasn't even chucked into the dumpster. It was just sitting. They had taken the entire case, the entire machine, and just put it on the side of the road. And here's the thing that's really interesting. Some of you will get this. It's a little obscure, but I knew this was a Singer sewing machine because I remember this particular cabinet. This cabinet is like early American style, and it has like the knobs on it, and it's got turned spindle legs. It has a very specific look that was really popular like in the early 70s, late 60s, right? Mid 60s, and on. And it was like the one that everybody like wanted. It looked early American, which was huge back then. And the cabinet alone was expensive. Like it wasn't one of their cheap cabinets. It was one of their better quality cabinets. It didn't have Formica all over it. It didn't have like the more durable, cheaper materials. It was solid wood. So yeah, it's sitting on my back porch right now. I'm going to try and refinish it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I saw an amazing post on Pinterest of a woman who took an old sewing machine cabinet like that and turned it into a bar. And I was like, I kind of like that idea. But I haven't decided what I'm doing with it yet, but I'd like to try and save her. Here's where the crazy part of me comes. Again, like when I was talking about how I just can't imagine this going into the landfill. Somebody's mom saved a lot of coupons to buy that, and that was a prized possession of hers. And then when she died, the kids, the grandkids sent it to Goodwill, and it was going to end up in a landfill. That can't happen, right? No, it's horrible. It's a horrible end to that story. Same with the sewing machines. To me, sewing machines are a valuable item. They're a valuable commodity. And do I now have 4 sewing machines? Absolutely. Until I sell this one, I have 5, right? But they're valuable because to me, they're valuable. There's something someone can use. If I can figure out how to fix this sewing machine, which again, the normal person in my head is like, you're never going to find time for this. It would be great, if I could get the free sewing machine to run. And it's awesome. It's an awesome sewing machine. I'm excited about even maybe trying it. Just, it was free. If I don't do it right, I don't do it right. But who knows? Maybe I will. Maybe it empower me to do other sewing machines. Maybe maybe the next half of my life, when I'm retired from driving a school bus and I'm not busy making pickles, I'll be the woman who can repair old sewing machines. I don't know. Who knows? Crazier things have happened, right? So I know this has been a short video, especially for people that just joined. We're only at the 28-minute mark, but I'm starting to lose my voice. So I'm going to go edit this a little bit. I'm going to take a picture of this beautiful girl so that you guys can get a better look at her. And I'm going to also see if I can find out a little information about her to find out what year she's from. And I am going to close out this video, edit it up a little bit. I'm going to put a picture of her in the thumbnail. And thank you for everyone who joined. I'm so sorry about yesterday. I was not feeling well. So until next time, which I have no idea when it's going to be, because I thought about trying to do Tuesdays again, but I don't always, like this Tuesday, I'm getting a washing machine delivered because my old washing machine, the one that was really loud in the old videos, it finally gave up the ghost. So I had to break down and buy an actual new sewing machine, which was very hard for me because I don't like to spend money. It's a Singer 347 Robin's Egg. Oh, wow. Okay. Thanks, Marie. I'm going to go look up more stuff about it. I want to know a little bit more about the year, and I want to know, I found there were these buttonhole, I don't know how to describe them. They're like plates that you put into the machine, and they help you make the buttonhole. Not that I would ever do that. I'll always use the Brother for the buttonhole because it's the one-step buttonholer. On my more modern Brother machine, it just does it like that. It's awesome. But it's nice to know that it had it. There was some other stuff in the drawer. There was, it's a drop-in bobbin, so it had the case for the drop-in bobbin, had an extra one of those. There was a booklet. What else was in there? I think some thread. I know you're shocked that there was thread in there. I'm surprised there wasn't zippers, right? All right. But anyway, I am going to have to go because my throat is really sore. I'm going to need to take a cough drop. I'm pretty sure my neighbor's ready to kill me because I do that pretty much all night. And she had to get up this morning at 4:30 and go to work. I heard her. I felt bad for her. We don't go back to school till Tuesday, which is great. But yeah. So anyway, until my next video, that I don't know when it's going to be, I might start doing Sundays in Spell again. That kind of worked for me. So I'm thinking about doing that. Until my next video, I hope you all have a great new year. I hope your 2022 ended on a good note. May we all go into this new year healthy, happy, and a little wiser. And until my next video, stay safe, stay warm, and stay well. And I'll see you next time. Bye.